Hello, and thank you for joining us on today's webinar titled The Top 7 Things to Have in Your Employee Handbook. The purpose of today's webinar is to explain the importance of having an employee handbook, identify the top 7 things to have in your employee handbook, and to also ensure you are keeping your employee handbook up to date. Regardless of how small or large your organization may be, running an organization without policies and guidelines is very challenging. Having a well-written employee handbook is very beneficial because it communicates to employees their rights and obligations as an employee. It lays out your workplace do's and don'ts and is a connecting link that establishes the employer-employee relationship. As a business owner, you are also required to inform employees of certain rights and obligations as mandated by federal and state regulations. Having an employee handbook can also communicate these regulations to employees and can help you avoid civil fees and protect you as the employer. Make your employee handbook priority and do not wait until you find yourself in a lawsuit to create one. Having one can also avoid misunderstandings that could potentially lead to lawsuits and protect you from liability. According to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the number of suits filed has declined over the past years, and the issue of having a well-written handbook has created a positive impact on the decrease of suits filed. Don't wait to create your employee handbook, or you will find yourself in a lawsuit. So, what are the top 7 things to have in your employee handbook? First, you must have an employment at will statement policy. A well-written employment at will statement is critical because it means that you or your employee may terminate the employment relationship at any time, with or without notice. This statement is also important because it can protect you against claims of wrongful termination. Another must-have is a right to revise statement. This statement does make your employee handbook a solid legal document, but it also gives you the flexibility to make changes to your handbook. For instance, in California, effective July 1, 2008, drivers cannot use handheld cell phones while driving, so updating your cellular telephone policy would be necessary to reflect this change. A right to revise statement protects you against an employee claim that he or she is not governed by the handbook policies because of a prior agreement. An equal employment opportunity policy should state that you do not discriminate against any applicant or employee on any basis, and all receive equal treatment without regard to race, color, religion, and more. State and federal laws require you to communicate with your employees about your commitment to equal opportunity for everyone. The policy should also state you forbid sexual and other forms of harassment. In 2007, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission recovered over $65 million in monetary benefits from employers due to employee claims of harassment. Having a well-written harassment policy can help avoid these potential costs. A harassment policy should state how to identify harassment and a company complaint process to inform management. Harassment is no joke and should not be taken lightly. An employee handbook must also have a section that states the employee benefit policies. This section should inform the employees about benefits provided to them as mandated by law, such as workers' compensation insurance, Social Security, state disability, unemployment insurance, medical insurance, COBRA, voting time, jury duty, and more. You should also communicate company-sponsored benefits such as paid or unpaid holidays, education reimbursement, 401k, flexible spending, vacation, sick or PTO plans, bereavement, and more. Communicating these benefits can be a great retention tool towards your employees, as it gives them incentives to work for you. But do be aware of local ordinances that require employers to provide certain benefits. Having a section that states your employee conduct policies in your employee handbook is imperative in managing your workforce. An employee must know what is inappropriate and the potential consequences for breaking the rules. Such employee conduct policies may include conflicts of interest, personal appearance, attendance and punctuality, drug and alcohol abuse, and others. These policies can help protect you against claims of unlawful disciplinary action or discrimination and protect the interest of your business. And lastly, you must have an employee acknowledgement of receipt form. Whenever you distribute your employee handbook, have the employee sign the acknowledgement form and place it in their employee file. By having the employee sign this form, the employee understands the policies in the handbook and holds them accountable to these company policies. Having a well-written and crafted employee handbook is a powerful tool. It's a powerful tool that can also lead to potential lawsuits or civil penalties and fees, if not done correctly. To avoid this, make sure you are staying up to date with federal and state employment laws. Also, stay up to date with changes in your industry, which can impact your current workplace policies. Your employee handbook should be updated to reflect these changes and be communicated to employees.